All right. Are you ready? Let's begin. As you sit allowing your body, you may begin to notice how the sound of words can sometimes be less important than the sound of words. The spaces between them.
This meditation follows a Fibonacci-inspired sequence. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, and then gently back down again.
This meditation
Each of these segments marks a shift,
has been designed
a subtle change in the brain waves, guiding you between theta and delta.
to oscillate
The realms of drifting clarity and deep restorative stillness.
between delta and theta brain wave states, creating
I created this meditation for myself because I had an idea.
using singing bowls
And I wanted to feel what it might do
to deepen relaxation.
inside me.
You don't need
And I found
to focus.
that I liked it.
Guide awareness inward, even if your mind
I hope you find your own experience here.
Welcome to You're Not Broken, Just Rewiring, a free audiobook podcast by me, Glenn Ostlund.
Welcome to You're Not Broken, Just Rewiring, a free audiobook podcast by me, Glenn Ostlund.
Chapter 13, 1. The Nymph, the Void,
Chapter 13.
and the pattern that paints itself.
The Nymph. The Void.
Is it just me, or do all beginnings feel a little like remembering something you never quite knew? Before we go forward, we go back. Way back. 1. Not to childhood, not to birth.
Not
Back to the primordial quiet,
not to birth.
the pre-language drum. This is the moment. Before the dragonfly is a dragonfly.
Moment before anything had a name. This is the moment.
Before wings. Two. Before sky. When it is still underwater, hidden, armored. Ancient. A nymph. And here's the twist. That nymph, it's the universe. And
That nymph. It's the universe.
it's you.
It's you.
A spiral reopens. Welcome to part 3. We're not resolving the story here. We're refracting it.
A spiral reopens. Welcome
Like
to
sunlight
part 3.
on wings.
We're not resolving the story here. We're refracting it.
This is not thesis. It's a Rorschach. A work of symbolic pattern craft. Stitched from metaphor, myth, molecule, and memory. What you see here will say as much about you as it does about the text. Each chapter from here on becomes an invitation to look closer. At the stories we've inherited. At the relationships we've built.
Each chapter.
All the metaphors that keep whispering, there's more here. Keep looking.
At the stories we've inherited. At the relationships we've built. All the metaphors.
We're going to overlay cosmology with cosmogenesis. Science with symbol. The Big Bang with a nymph climbing toward light.
We're going to overlay cosmology
Because sometimes, when you want to understand yourself,
symbol
you don't start with a mirror.
with a nymph climbing toward light.
You start
Because sometimes
with a myth.
you want to understand yourself. You don't start with a mirror. Welcome to the 28-day nervous system reset. I'm Glenn Ostlund, a licensed therapist in Arizona. And if you're one of my clients,
The dragonfly as cosmology. 5. If part 1 introduced the dragonfly as a metaphor for personal transformation,
Part 3 asked something bigger.
and part 2 grounded it in nervous system science, part 3 asked something bigger.
What if the dragonfly is not just a symbol for you?
What if the dragonfly is not just a symbol for you?
What if it's a symbol for everything?
What if it's a symbol for everything?
What if this whole universe is a dragonfly in slow motion, emerging, molting?
What if this whole universe is a dragonfly in slow motion, emerging, molting? Breaking surface, finding sky.
And what if each density, each stage of
And what if each density, each stage of consciousness, each myth we've ever told was simply a different way of naming one thing,
because
becoming?
there's the water,
So let's start.
the pressure,
Because before the wing is unfurled,
primordials,
there's the water, the pressure,
the friction between being and not being,
the primordials,
the ache that says
the friction between
something
being and
wants
not
to
being,
exist.
the ache that says something wants to exist.
A new lens, Glenn Ostlund and the secret doctrine.
A new lens, Helena Blavatsky and the secret doctrine.
We begin this spiral with a new translation device. An old actually.
We begin this spiral with a new translation device. An old one, actually. Her name was Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, a 19th century esotericist, mystic, troublemaker, pattern seeker. In her book, The Secret Doctrine, she introduced the concept of the root races, not as literal races, but as stages in the evolution of consciousness.
Cycle of form and function.
7 movements, each one
spiral
a
of
cycle
soul
of
through
form
substance.
and function.
It's easy
A
to
spiral of
misunderstand
soul
them as
through
archaic
substance.
or problematic, and sometimes they are. But viewed
It's
symbolically,
easy to misunderstand them as archaic or problematic, and sometimes they are.
a poetic,
But viewed symbolically, there's something else.
a myth of emergence,
A poetic
an
cosmology,
esoteric mirror of what Ra later called
a myth of emergence,
consciousness.
an esoteric mirror of what Ra later called densities. Consciousness learning to recognize itself one octave at a time. So what we'll do now is this. We'll take Blavatsky's root races, Ra's densities, and modern science's story of the universe and stack them like transparencies on an old school projector.
To see which appears
not to find a single static truth, 8,
To find the constantly
but to see what shape appears when their outlines overlap.
reaction to these ideas right
To find the constantly evolving truth. It is your subjective reaction to these ideas right here,
So,
right now.
take a deep breath. And pay
So-
close attention
Take a deep breath
to the subtle ways your mind, body, and spirit
and pay close attention to the subtle ways your mind, body, and spirit
I'm not asking you to believe my words.
respond to what comes next.
But to notice your own experience.
The kaleidoscope begins. In this chapter, we go back to the Big Bang, to the root of polarity, to the moment when everything was one and then wasn't. When silence
Let there be structure.
cracked
We'll walk through the
and something
formation
said,
of matter,
"Let there be structure."
stars, the emergence of planets,
We'll walk through the
not
formation of
as
matter,
isolated facts, but
the
as
birth
mythic
of stars,
stages.
the emergence
Each
of
physical
planets,
phase of the cosmos, a
not
metaphor.
as isolated facts, but as mythic stages. Each physical phase of the cosmos,
Each
a
density,
metaphor
not
for
just a
eternal
spiritual
awakening.
concept, but a biological, cosmological.
Each density, not just a spiritual concept, but a biological, cosmological, poetic, fractal. Like the dragonfly nymph crawling toward air, we move. Not because we know what's ahead, but because we feel a pressure to ascend. This is the beginning of the final spiral,
The dragonfly is still underwater.
the molting of myth into meaning.
The sky.
The dragonfly is still underwater, but something inside it remembers the sky.
Remember Ra's first density?
The
According
first
to the
layer,
law of one, it's
pattern
the
before
density
presence.
of elemental being.
Remember Ra's first density? According to the law of one, it's the density of elemental being,
Fire,
earth,
water,
air,
non-conscious
Fire.
in a personal sense.
water.
Vibrating.
Not conscious in a personal sense, but
Beginnings of
alive. Vibrating. Beginning to know that it is. Blavatsky's first root race describes something similar. A subtle, etheric phase, formless, barely individuated, a breath away from spirit. And then science gives us this, a singularity, a flash of inflation. Space, time, energy, and matter erupting into relationship. Our best minds describe the birth of structure this way. Quantum fields begin to ripple. Particles arise from those ripples. The four fundamental forces crystallize. Gravity, electromagnetism, the strong nuclear force, the weak nuclear force. Atoms form. Stars ignite. And when those stars die, they give us iron, calcium, carbon, the materials your body is made from, the memory your cells still carry. This is the beginning of relationship.
Let's look more closely.
The choreography of cosmic form.
The original.
Let's look more closely at what was dancing.
As healers.
The original four therapists, forces as healers.
Or service.
The ancient Greek word therapia
To be a
means
therapist
healing
in its
or
original
service.
context wasn't about analysis or diagnosis.
To be a therapist, in its
It was
original
about
context,
devotion,
wasn't about analysis or
tending
diagnosis.
to the sacred,
It was about devotion,
offering presence to a process of unfolding.
attending to the sacred, offering presence to a process of unfolding.
This is a podcast designed with sound. To settle the nervous system. Maybe you feel there is no time for this. Or maybe you remember when you used to feel there wasn't time to sit still. Yet, when you paused, you discover how good it feels. To give yourself this gift.
13.
There's no right way to experience it.
So, what if we told the origin story of the universe not just in terms of physics, but in terms of therapia? What if these four fundamental forces, those unseen agents that shaped every atom and star, were also archetypal therapists? Forces that don't just hold matter together, but tend to its growth, facilitate its becoming. What if the universe began not just with an explosion, but with four primordial healers
Facilitate its becoming.
who have never stopped working?
What if the universe began not just with an
These
explosion, but
are the original four therapists.
primordial healers
Gravity,
who have never
the one who
stopped
stays.
working?
She is the most gentle, the quietest,
Are the original four therapists.
but also the one who never
Gravity,
leaves.
the one who stays.
Gravity doesn't
She
push.
is the most gentle,
She pulls
the quiet,
constantly, invisibly.
but also the one who never leaves.
She keeps stars in orbit,
Gravity doesn't push
planets in motion.
constantly.
not because they solve your problems, but because they refuse to look away. In the psyche, her shadow is abandonment, presence that flickers or fades. Her gift is grounding, the ability to stay. And her city, devotion. Love so steady, it becomes a gravitational field.
The ability to stay.
You don't have to earn it, you just fall into it.
Love so steady, it becomes a gravitational field.
Electromagnetism.
You don't have to earn it.
The one who connects and differentiates. This one is a spark and structure, the flirt and the fence. She governs attraction and repulsion. She holds your molecules together and also keeps your boundaries intact. Without her, light wouldn't travel, nerves wouldn't fire, your heartbeat wouldn't pulse. In relationships, she shows up as chaos when her charge is unregulated, codependence, over-attachment, or total shutdown. But when healthy, she becomes clarity, polarity without panic. And at her highest expression, she is magnetism.
She becomes clarity.
A presence that invites intimacy without erasing sovereignty.
And at her highest
You feel her when someone truly sees you and respects your edges.
a presence that invites intimacy without erasing
The strong force, the one who protects the
You
core.
feel her when someone truly sees you.
This
and respects
therapist
your
is
edges.
fierce, quiet but unbreakable.
The strong
She holds the nucleus of every atom together, even when the charges try to repel
This
her.
therapist is fierce, quiet.
She works only at close range. She's not interested in surface appearances,
Even
but
when
if she bonds with you, it's deep. In the emotional body, her shadow is enmeshment, loyalty that suffocates, the kind that won't let go, even when it should. Her gift is rootedness, a chosen closeness that strengthens, not traps. And her city? Unity, the kind of intimacy where two people don't merge into one, but become more than they could alone. The weak force, the one who guides transformation. This one is the shapeshifter, the midwife of decay and resurrection. She governs radioactive decay and nuclear
This
fusion,
one is the
the
shape.
processes that allow stars to shine and atoms to become something new.
She governs
subtle.
radioactive decay and nuclear
You don't
fusion.
always notice her until
The
something falls
processes
apart,
that allow stars to shine and atoms to
but she's
become
there in every ending that becomes a beginning.
She's subtle.
Her shadow is collapse,
You don't always
identity
notice her,
confusion in the face of loss.
but she's there.
But
in
her
every
gift
ending that
is letting go,
becomes a
composting the past into nutrient-rich soil for what's next. And her city is transmutation, the ability to become more whole because of what broke.
We live in a world of constant clear. Deadlines. Devices. Demands.
just cosmic metaphors. They are inside you. Gravity lives in your longing to feel grounded. Electromagnetism hums in your relationships and boundaries. The strong force pulses in your commitments, your loyalties. The weak force weaves through your losses, your reinventions. And all of them, everyone, are
Not in lab coats, but patterns.
not in lab coats, but in patterns. Not in offices,
Each
but
one
in atoms.
tending your evolution, moment by moment.
Each one tending your evolution, moment by moment.
The fifth element, time as the painter of perception.
The fifth element, time,
And then there
as
is
the painter
time.
of perception.
Not a force in the same way as the others,
And then there is time,
a field,
not a force in the same way as the others,
medium that
but
makes movement.
a field, a fabric, a medium that makes movement perceptible. Without time, gravity wouldn't pull toward, electromagnetism wouldn't oscillate, fusion wouldn't ignite, transformation wouldn't unfold. Without time, nothing becomes. It would all just be. Einstein helped us see that time is not a line, but a landscape. The past, present, and future are coordinates within a four-dimensional space. That everything that has ever happened and ever will exists
One trail at a time.
like a mountain range we can only see
And Brian
from one
Greene
trail at a
took us
time.
Showing how our movement through space
And Brian Greene
bends
took us
times of tempo,
showing how our movement through space
its rhythm,
bends times tempo,
creates the
warps
illusion
its
of
rhythm,
flow.
creates the illusion of flow.
Our perception, our nervous systems,
Our biology, our perception,
these are the
our nervous systems. These are the lenses through which time appears to move.
even if time is an illusion.
But here's the paradox. Even if time is an illusion, it's a sacred one. Because it's time that lets you feel what it's like to change, to grow, to struggle, to remember yourself. It's time that turns the infinite symphony of existence into a melody you can follow, one
So if
note
the
at
four
a time.
forces are the original therapists, time is their
So if the four forces are the original therapists, time is their co-facilitator,
slow reveal.
the one who brings pacing,
Time is the field in which we
integration,
unfold,
the slow reveal.
not a ticking clock.
Time is the field in which you
And
unfold,
like any good therapist, time does not push. It
spiral.
invites.
And like any good therapist, time doesn't
It
push,
says,
it
take
invites,
all moments.
it holds space. It says, take all the moments you need. From forces to feelings, the spiral of shadow, gift, and city. Let's bring in Richard Rudd's gene keys now. Not as doctrine, but as an interpretive key. A lens that reveals how even but emotionally unreachable. The ache of being near someone who cannot truly see you. That's the wound. Abandonment disguised as loyalty. But as gravity stabilizes, it teaches you how to stay, not just with others, but with yourself. Grounding isn't just about being still, it's about coherence, about presence that resonates. And at its highest octave, gravity becomes devotion. A field of love so constant, it doesn't have to speak, it just is.
Like the person who
Like
shows
the
up
earth
again
under your feet.
and again without needing to
Like the
ask.
person who shows up again and again without needing to be asked.
Electromagnetism, the dance of connection and boundary.
Electromagnetism, the dance of connection and boundary. In shadow, it's chaos, overbonding, withdrawal, sparks that flare and fizzle. The nervous system doesn't know whether to move closer or bolt. You swing between craving contact and fearing it. But when regulated, electromagnetism becomes clarity, the ability to discern what's mine, what's yours, what's shared. It allows you to hold polarity without panic. At the citic level, this becomes magnetism, a presence so balanced in its charge that it doesn't need to chase or repel, it simply radiates. And others, rightly attuned, gather not out of need, but resonance. The strong force, the core of chosen bond. Its shadow is the trap of enmeshment. Loyalty so fierce it forgets to breathe. The fusion of self and other until there's no distinction. You stay, not because it's right, but because you're afraid not to. Yet, when this energy matures, it becomes rootedness, a chosen bond, a connection that respects both roots and reach. You can go deep without losing your shape. And it's city, unity, not as sameness, but as sacred closeness. A place where intimacy doesn't reduce you, it refines you. The weak force, the catalyst of change. Its shadow is collapse. You've lost something, an identity, a relationship, a version of yourself. And in the aftershock, you don't know who you are. But this is where the alchemy begins. The weak force whispers, let go. Not to erase, but to compost. To turn grief into ground, memory into movement. The gift here is release. The skill of dying many small deaths so that something wiser can live. And the city, transmutation. A self reborn, not in spite of breaking, but because of it.
Headphones are required. With headphones, your brain hears That creates a third rhythm. Research shows that they arrange binaural beats may support relaxation, sleep, memory, and emotional regulation. Notice what happens in your own life over time. You may also hear my words move from left to right and back again. Another layer, softer, may different speed. Sometimes words repeat. Sometimes they reflect. Following both streams at once can sharpen focus, like a lens bringing blurred images clear.
5.
This podcast is a 28-day journey at least. The length often needed to build a new habit. Beyond the steady binaural hum, you'll hear layers of tones, textures, layers of subtle effects, textures and subtle effects. This is not only meditation, it is sound art. A shifting sculpture, temperature and texture, like a kaleidoscope, patterns, like a Rorschach ink blot. As you listen, you may notice thoughts stretching like taffy.
Time, the frame of becoming. In its shadow, time becomes resistance. You grip a past that cannot return. You brace against a future that hasn't arrived. You live in fragments, regret behind you, fear ahead. But when you enter time fully, it becomes presence. The ability to meet what is, moment by moment. No rush, no rewind, just this frame,
You brace against
this
a future
breath,
that hasn't arrived.
and
You
the
live
city,
in fragments, regret
timeless.
behind you, fear
the still
ahead.
point at the heart of change.
But when
The
you
awareness
enter
that
time,
every moment, when
becomes
fully lived,
presence,
contains
the ability
eternity.
to meet what is.
You live in all these forces.
No rush.
They shape you,
No rewind.
yes, but more importantly, you shape them.
This breath.
Not passively, but creatively, consciously, and continually. Your nervous system doesn't merely receive the vast choreography of the cosmos like a static satellite dish absorbing invisible signals. It participates. It interprets. It turns those universal patterns into intimate, embodied experience. Gravity in your inner world becomes longing, the ache to be held, to belong, to land. Electromagnetism becomes the pulse of attraction and aversion, the delicate voltage between closeness and separation. The strong nuclear force becomes loyalty, the desire to hold together what matters, even under pressure. The weak force reveals itself through grief, through loss, through the moments you dissolve in order to begin again. And time becomes memory, the stitching thread, the artist's hand that layers each emotion, each decision, each breath into to a sequence that you call life. These fields don't just pass through you, they become you. And as they do, each one takes on the texture of feeling. And each feeling in turn opens the doorway to choice. And each choice, a brushstroke, a small but sacred mark on the living canvas of your becoming. Spiral reflection. So take a moment now, not to think, but to feel. Where are these forces alive in you? Where do you pull others in, hoping they'll never leave? That's gravity. Maybe in its shadow, maybe in its gift. Where do you flicker between closeness and retreat? That's electromagnetism, surfing the edges of your attachment map. Where have you held on so tightly that you forgot who you were without the bond? That's the strong force. Loyal, yes, but maybe a little
That's
lost.
gravity. Maybe in its shadow.
Where have you
Maybe in its
unraveled,
gift.
fallen apart,
Where do
dissolved
you
into
flicker
something
between closeness and
unfamiliar?
retreat?
That's the weak force doing its sacred work.
Edges of your attachment map.
And where are you in time?
Where have you held
Are you
on so
here
tightly that you
in the
forgot
felt
who
sense
you were
of now?
without the bond?
Or are you orbiting a memory,
Loyal.
forecasting a fear,
Maybe a little
rehearsing a regret? Your nervous system can do all of it.
dissolved into something.
It can replay the past in vivid, high-definition detail. Every word, every glance, every ache. So real, you feel like you're back inside it. It can simulate futures you may never live. Rehearsing conversations, bracing for impact, painting full emotional landscapes from fragments of fear and hope. It can saturate the present with echoes of what's gone and premonitions of what might come, layering your now with ghost stories and future scripts.
It can see
But
futures.
even as it does all this,
Rehearsing conversations.
it also offers you something
bracing
else,
for impact.
something
Painting full
quiet,
emotional landscapes.
subtle,
Fragments of fear.
but no less powerful.
It can saturate
offers
the
you
present with
the tip
echoes of what's
of
gone
wings.
and
The
premonitions
flicker of
of
awareness
what
that
might come,
notices just in time
layering your now
that you're dreaming
with
while
ghost
awake.
stories and future scripts.
It offers you the moment of noticing,
But
a single breath of spaciousness in which everything
it also
shifts.
offers you something else.
That flicker,
Something
that's your agency. That's your gift.
but no less
That's the first thread of your rewiring. In that breath, you can pause. You can feel your feet. You can soften your shoulders. You can ask yourself, what force is active in me right now? Am I gripping too tightly? Am I letting go too soon? Am I using time like a shield or a sword? And can I feel the space beneath the story I'm telling? The deeper pattern underneath the performance? The quiet therapist hidden inside the tension? Because this moment you're in, no matter how dense, no matter how disorienting,
Am I letting go too
it is not a punishment.
soon? Am I using time?
It's a portal, a classroom,
And can I feel
a spiral staircase that shifts like your breath.
deeper pattern?
Time is not your enemy here.
Quiet. There
It is your teacher.
inside the tension.
The rhythm section of your
Because
emotion.
this moment,
The quiet drumbeat.
no matter how dense,
Becoming.
no matter how
It reminds
disorienting,
you, softly but
it is not a
persistently,
punishment.
that another moment is
It's a
coming.
portal.
Another frame is forming. Another
A
layer
spiral
is loosening.
staircase is shaped
Another gift
like a friend.
is emerging.
Time is not
And
your
you
enemy here.
don't have to do any of it perfectly. You just have to locate yourself. Not on a calendar, not on a spreadsheet of accomplishments, not on someone else's roadmap, but in your own awareness. Because that's where the spiral turns. That's where integration begins. Because you're not broken. You're rewired. Always. Cumulative summary so far. Part 1 introduced the ache. The dissonance when doing everything right still feels wrong. We explored the tension between form and function. Tip of wings begins. The longing for coherence across mind, body, and spirit. You were invited to notice not just what you believe, but how it feels in your nervous system when you believe. Part 2 layered metaphor with mechanism. Ra, Seth, the gene keys, and used translation devices to bridge the esoteric and the embodied. We looked at how meaning moves through the body, how story shapes perception, how healing is not a one-time fix, but a spiraling recalibration. We explored how beliefs don't just sit in the mind, they breathe through memory, emotion, and sensation. Part 3 now returns to the roots of relationship. Atoms, forces, time, emergence. Not to reduce you to chemistry, but to show how even the chemistry carries poetry. You are not separate from the fabric of the universe. You are that fabric, folded into awareness, patterned
Part
into
3
perspective,
now returns to the
and shaped
roots of relationship.
moment by moment
Atom,
by what you choose to notice.
emergence.
The self
Not to
begins
reduce
to
you
feel
to
it,
chemistry, but
not
to show
just as
how
a story told in
chemistry
metaphor,
carries poetry.
but as a living
You are
system
not separate
unfolding from
from the
within.
fabric of the universe.
What once appeared as symbol now pulses as signal, resonating not only in the mind, but through the body's quiet intelligence. This isn't just theory or poetry, it's presence. It's the felt experience of awareness coming online in real time. You sense it here, now, in this strange and sacred pause between breathing and remembering. Between what has already shaped you and what is still waiting to be born. Between the known and the possible. Between what was and what wants to be. It's the felt experience of awareness coming online in real time. You sense it here, now, in this strange and sacred pause between breathing and remembering. Between what has already shaped you and what is still waiting to be born through you. Between the known and the possible. Between what was and what wants to be. And in that pause, the spiral continues. So, as you